Beyond the Hype, a fashion lifestyle tech podcast. Presented by Stephanie Williams and Greg Lewis.
Hey everyone. I know AI can feel sometimes like we're just drowning in buzzwords and hype.
Right.
But that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
This deep dive, what we're doing is
Getting past that stuff.
going beyond those headlines, looking at how AI is really being used, practically.
Out in the wild.
Yeah, out in the wild.
Exactly.
The article we're looking at today is called AI, Beyond the Hype and Headlines.
I like that.
What really caught my eye about it, though, is the idea that AI can actually make us better at being human.
That's a good way to put it.
Right. Not replacing us, but
Yeah, totally. Like AI augmenting us.
yeah, augmentation, not replacement.
I like that.
That's a good way to put it.
It really is a different perspective.
So,
We're moving away from those like robots are going to take over kind of stories and thinking about how we can work with AI.
It's a much more, optimistic outlook.
Yeah, definitely.
And one of the things that jumped out at me was this idea of AI as a creative amplifier. I feel like for a while, all I was hearing from like artist friends and writer friends was,
Oh, they're going to take our jobs.
yeah, exactly, like fear, panic,
Right.
that AI was going to make them obsolete. But this article is saying like almost the opposite.
Yeah, and there's some fascinating examples in there
Oh, yeah.
of how creatives are actually using AI to become more productive and, in a way, better at their craft,
Yeah.
Think of it as like
Like a superpower.
kind of like having this assistant that can just blaze through all the boring stuff.
Ooh, the grunt work.
Exactly. And that frees you up to do the really interesting creative work.
That's the dream.
All right.
So it's not just about being faster or more efficient. It's about
It's about working smarter.
and having more fun, I imagine.
Absolutely. And they gave this really cool example
Oh, yeah.
about like a content strategist who had this GPT model analyze all their best performing social media posts.
Oh, wow.
They basically fed the AI all their existing content.
Yeah.
And it helped them figure out,
Like patterns and trends.
totally, and come up with fresh angles and ideas for new posts.
It's like a creativity hack.
It is.
That's amazing. It makes you wonder,
What else could it do, right?
yeah, like what are the limits here?
There's another good one.
Tell me.
It's about this marketer who, get this, created a hook GPT.
What?
A hook GPT to generate viral content ideas.
No way.
It's pretty wild. They're basically using AI to figure out, like what makes content go viral.
What makes it spread?
Exactly.
So they're reverse engineering virality
Yeah, in a way.
using AI.
And then applying those insights to their own work. It's pretty clever.
Oh, that's so cool. It makes you think like,
If they crack the code,
yeah, could anyone become an internet sensation with AI?
maybe.
But beyond just like,
The hypes.
yeah, the clicks and the shares, it made me think about how, we actually create. Like, could AI actually make us more creative? Could it help us tap into something deeper? Challenge our assumptions about what creativity even is.
I think that's a question worth exploring.
Yeah.
There's this one example in the article. I thought it was really powerful.
What is it?
It's about this grandmother and granddaughter, right?
Okay.
And they're using AI to write children's books together.
Ah, that's so sweet.
Isn't it? They're combining their own imaginations with what the AI can do. The text generation, even the pictures.
Wow.
And it makes you realize AI can be about connection,
Bringing people together.
It's not all cold and impersonal like people think.
Totally. So AI could change
Oh, yeah.
how we think about
How we work.
creating together.
Yeah, definitely.
It's exciting to think about all the possibilities, for creative work in the future. But maybe
Yeah, we could talk about that for hours.
we should shift gears a bit.
Sure.
Because the article also talks about AI as an empathy engine. And I'll be honest,
I know, right?
that sounds a little strange at first. Like, how can a machine,
Make us more empathetic.
right, make us like better at understanding other people?
Yeah, it seems counterintuitive. But think of it this way.
Okay.
AI can look at tons of data, way more than we could ever process.
Yeah.
And that includes stuff like customer interactions, right?
Okay.
And it can pull out insights that we might miss. It's not about replacing our empathy.
Oh, okay.
It's about giving us a deeper understanding.
So it's like AI is giving us superpowers
Kind of.
to see the world through other people's eyes.
Exactly. And there were some great examples of that in the article too.
Like what?
Well, some sales teams are using AI to analyze call transcripts and emails, not just to see, why a sale fell through,
Right.
but to understand how the customer felt during the interaction.
Oh, wow.
Like, did they feel heard?
Did they feel like their concerns were addressed?
Exactly.
That's incredible. It takes customer service to a whole new level.
Absolutely. And it's not just sales. The article also talked about marketing teams using AI to create
Right, like targeted ads.
well, yeah, but more than that, like hyper-personalized campaigns that really resonate with people.
Oh, wow.
And even customer success teams using AI to spot signs of customer frustration,
Yeah.
like before it becomes a big problem.
So they can intervene early.
Exactly. Pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, I never thought of that.
It makes you think about how much more effective our work could be
Yeah.
and how much more enjoyable, frankly.
If we could all just tap into that level of understanding and empathy,
That's the idea.
it's a powerful concept.
It really is.
It makes you rethink how we can use AI, not just to be more efficient, but to create,
Deeper connections.
yeah, exactly, like more meaningful and fulfilling interactions.
In relationships.
In relationships, that's a good point.
Yeah, it makes you think about how much better we could be at building relationships, like in our personal lives and at work.
Right, like
Oh.
imagine if we all understood each other better, if we could anticipate what people need and communicate in a way that felt, more compassionate.
That's a world I want to live in.
Me too. But speaking of work, we've got to talk about
What?
our lack of time.
Oh, yeah.
Always running out of time.
It's a universal problem.
It is. We've talked about how AI can boost our creativity, how it can help us be more empathetic, but
Right.
what about just giving us more time?
Ah, yes, the time liberator aspect.
Exactly. And this article really gets into that, and I gotta say,
Yeah.
it was music to my ears.
I know what you mean. It's so appealing, that idea of being freed
Yeah.
from all the things that just drain us.
Yeah, it's like being able to say no to all the busy work.
Exactly. All the stuff that clutters up our to-do list.
And keeps us from focusing on the things that actually matter.
That's the key, right? It's not just about doing things faster. It's about
Doing the right things.
Yes. And they had this great example in the article about a small business owner who automated their lead qualification process.
Oh yeah, that sounds familiar.
So instead of spending all this time on calls with people who weren't even a good fit,
Yeah, the worst.
right, they had AI do that initial screening.
Yeah.
Figure out who was actually a good prospect.
So they could focus on the ones who were.
Exactly. And actually build those
Right.
relationships.
So it's like they got a piece of their life back.
They did. And the article talked about how content creators are using AI too.
Oh yeah.
To handle the technical side of publishing, like formatting and scheduling.
So they can focus on like
The writing, the
the
create.
good stuff.
Exactly.
It's like having a silent partner working behind the scenes.
I like that analogy, a silent partner who takes care of all
The
the...
boring stuff.
Yes. So you can focus on what makes you, uniquely human.
That's the important part, right? It's not about being replaced. It's about
It's about being empowered.
and being freed to do the things that only humans can do.
Because as AI gets better, it's those uniquely human skills that are going to be even more important.
Like creativity, empathy, critical
Yeah.
thinking. Right.
Exactly. Those are the skills that will be in high demand no matter how advanced AI becomes.
And the crazy thing is, AI can actually help us develop those skills even further.
I know, it's like this positive feedback loop.
It pushes us to become better versions of ourselves.
And not just as individuals, but as a society too.
Oh, that's a good point. Like, what could we achieve if we weren't all so bogged down by the day-to-day grind?
That's the question the article asks, actually.
Yeah.
Imagine AI handling your email, meeting summaries, research, all that stuff.
Whoa, yeah. What could we do with all that extra time?
And mental energy.
It's like a blank canvas, right?
Yeah.
You could paint your ideal life.
And that's the key takeaway, I think. AI isn't some force that's going to control our future.
We have a choice.
We do. It's a tool, and we decide how to use it to shape our own destiny.
So it's not about being passive.
No, we have to be active participants in this.
We have to make sure AI aligns with our values, with what we want for the
Yeah.
future.
Exactly. And it's important to talk about these things
Yeah, to have these conversations.
so we can make conscious choices about how we want to integrate AI into our lives, as individuals and as a society.
It's like we're at a crossroads,
I like that. We're choosing the path.
and the path we choose will determine how we relate to AI in the future.
And I think the path to a more human-centered future, a better future,
Yeah.
lies in seeing AI as a tool for good, for augmentation, for collaboration, for empowerment.
That's the kind of future I want to be a part of. Yeah, it feels like AI could really change things.
I think so too. Like, it's not just about the technology.
Right.
It's about like rethinking what it even means to be human.
Yeah, like in this new world where AI is everywhere.
Exactly. It's not science fiction anymore.
It's happening now.
It is. The article's full of examples.
Real people using AI.
Like that grandmother and granddaughter.
Writing books together.
I loved that one.
Me too. But there were so many others.
People using AI to like connect with family in new ways.
Yeah, or to learn new things.
Make a difference in their communities.
It shows you that AI is just a tool.
Yeah.
And like any tool, it depends how you use it.
It can be used for good or bad.
So it comes back to us.
To making the right choices.
We have the power to decide how AI is used.
And to make sure it's used ethically.
So these conversations are important.
Yeah, we need to keep talking about this.
Explore the potential.
But also be aware of the risks.
It's like walking a tightrope.
A little bit.
You gotta be optimistic, but also cautious.
Exactly.
Embrace the possibilities, but don't ignore the potential downside.
And remember, the future isn't set in stone.
We can shape it.
We get to decide how AI develops, how it's used, how it affects our lives.
You know, when we started this deep dive, I was a little intimidated by AI, honestly.
I get that.
All the hype made me wonder if my job was on the line.
If you were going to be replaced.
Exactly. But now, I feel hopeful.
That's good. I'm glad.
Yeah, this conversation has really changed my perspective.
Me too. And I hope our listeners are feeling that too.
It's up to all of us.
To make sure AI is a force for good.
So to wrap things up, the real potential of AI isn't about replacing humans.
It's about making us better.
It's about augmenting our humanity.
Using this powerful tool.
To be more creative.
More empathetic.
And to free up our time.
For the things that really matter.
And remember that question from the article?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
What's one task you could automate today?
To give yourself more time.
For work that's truly meaningful.
It's a challenge to our listeners.
To put these ideas into action.
Don't just think about it, do it.
Start small, experiment, see how AI can make your life better.
I love that.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive.
It has.
We've just scratched the surface of what's possible.
And that's what's so exciting. This is just the beginning.
As AI evolves, there's going to be so much more to explore.
So many new opportunities.
And we want to hear from you.
Yes.
How are you using AI? How do you plan to use it?
What are your hopes and fears?
Share your thoughts, your ideas. Let's keep this conversation going.
Let's create a future where AI benefits everyone.
That's the future I want to see, a future where technology and humanity work together.
To make the world a better place.
A more equitable, more sustainable, more fulfilling world for all of us.
That's a future worth fighting for.
Beyond the Hype, a fashion lifestyle tech podcast.